Okay, so the Mixolydian arpeggio, as played across the fretboard, only has one note that's outside of one of the. Do we have any arpeggios that are completely contained in one tripentatonic box? I don't think so. All right, the Aeolian starts on the A box, A root shaped. Remember, 6 is going to be encapsulated by the root, but you don't know what shape that root is going to be until you map it out. So let's go to a different chart for a minute now, because we've got the same situation happening here, and let's just get to safety here with the Aeolian. We want to stay safe, so we're going to get to, this is the full Aeolian Mixolydian fretboard. Aeolian is 6R3, Mixolydian is 572. We're not particularly talking about the Mixolydian now, but we were looking at it. Okay. Now, what's going on here? It looks like tic-tac-toe. I mean, it looks like, some sort of puzzle game here, like concentration or something. Why are there so many of them? Okay, if these are tri-inversional arpeggios, so both of them have a relative root. All right, the root of the 5 chord of the Mixolydian is the 5. Okay, Mixolydian. All right, now starting from the 7 on Mixolydian, like that, bop, 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 bop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did I go one too far? Okay, up to the 5th. 7th, starting from the 5th, up to the 2nd, right here, the D. And then starting from that 2nd, all right, up to the 7th. Okay, same thing with the Aeolian. All right, the Aeolian, the relative root of the Aeolian scale, the Aeolian arpeggio. Okay, so starting from the 6th is the relative root. Root is the C, but the 6 is the relative root. Okay, we got 6 root 3, 6 root 3, right there. See how these are perfectly, they're just repeats of one another. 6 root 3, 6 root 3, but it's warped over. All right, and then from the 3rd it would be 3 6 root, 3 6 root, like that. From the 3rd, you can't, I would have to, that would be pretty low if I started it this low on the fretboard. I think I just untuned one of my strings, but yeah, that's my low C on the top string, low high C. So we go perfect 4th, minor 3rd, major 3rd, warped over 4th, and then to a minor 3rd. And the reason I messed up a little bit is because these notes are getting longer down here. I probably came up short on one of those intervals, so be aware of where you're at. There's a big difference between down here and way up here, in the middle. Just keep in mind. So that's why you want to glance where you are. You can feel the frets, but you don't want to play in the dark. You know what I'm saying? It's just not a good idea, unless you just want to practice that. People practice like standing on one foot with their eyes shut, and it's a lot harder, but once you open your eyes again, it's a lot easier. Anyway, Wanted to get to this diagram because of the labels. Okay, so we got, guess what? Caged, C-A-G-E-D, exists in the minors, and it also exists. It lags behind the major. So C would go to a D major. Okay, and let me get the other labels up here. A would go up to a C major. Now, where's my C major? I don't see it because it's halfway, and there it is. And these are lined up. You see how 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3 like that? And one of the other advantages of lining these things up is I can play a little tune along with the 3 of them. So I can just call, if I just call out, you know, like 1, 2, or 3, or you know, I can start with this 5 here and just do like this. Geez, that would be an A shape, right? Is that not an A shape? Well, guess what? Because of this lone wolf 7, I can tell it's a G shape. We've got a root G here, and then we've got 3 on the G bar, 3 to the G bar. So it's kind of a G shape. But it is part of the A shape, which is halfway, shares halfway. You see how there's overlap here? There's overlap here, like this. Okay? So it's definitely an A-shaped root, but you can also call it a 3 to the bar G-shaped root. But for now, we're thinking G as the meat of the G chord. I'm thinking is root 3-5. I mean, come on. Because I identify G, a G shape. Down here is the real G. Here's a C-shaped G. I identify G with this big wide open chord. So start there with this like G-shaped thing. And so I'm gonna like, what do they call it? Noodle around in this yellow zone, and then I'm going to switch, let's say when I get to a 3, and then go down to this green 3 and noodle around in the 3s, something like that. So we could try to do that. To the 5. Now to the green. Now back up to the yellow 5. I didn't have to change notes. It doesn't seem to sound musical, but if you play with it long enough, you can get something going. You know, so you got to look at it. This is root, and this is third. It's not a good change to go from root to third. I mean, there's a good song that does that. It's like Against the Wind does that, you know, where it's starting something like, what's so long ago? There was so many roads. Something like that. Yeah, Against the Wind does that, but you know, I always taught you're not supposed to go from root to a minor third. You can go from minor third to root. So, you know, I could do something like that was a little suspended note, but it was okay because it was still in the mode. That suspended note on G was a C. It's still in the, you know, white key zone. So, you know, that I can't remember what I just played, to tell you the truth. I think it was starting on an E minor. So we start on an E minor kind of thing, if we could find a decent E minor around here. Now, you can take this through the warp. So you could start on a 3 there, read it off.